Okay, friends, prepare to nerd out. We're going to have some fun with gouache. So we're talking color studies, including a couple of yours, and we're going to have material experiments, including a way to seal gouache that is very elegant. And we're going to do some opacity tests because that's important too, because that's one of the main things about gouache, isn't it? Another one of the main things about gouache is that it is expensive. So I have 4 different brands, and I thought I would take you through all 4 of them from cheapest to most expensive to see how they compare to each other in terms of opacity. So the first one that I tried is this one, Niji, and it's new to me. This was really my first time really experimenting with it here. And for the first stroke, I was like, wow, that's very opaque. Good job. But I realized these are extremely thick, almost dried out. And I think if they had been thinned as much as the other ones, that perhaps they would have been less opaque. But they were okay. Actually, they weren't bad. And the little jars were pretty cute, I'm not going to lie. Caran is the next one. I just bought this one recently. And I took this with me on a field trip to my neighborhood the other day, and that was pretty fun. But as you can see, this being a pan set, it is not as opaque as it probably could be. That said, beautiful, vibrant colors, and I had a really nice time painting with them when I was doing my little mini plein air moment. And then we have Liquitex, which is not a true gouache, it's an acrylic gouache, which means essentially it's acrylic paint that has been made more matte and more opaque probably with chalk. As you can see, the top is really annoying on these. Like, it doesn't screw off, and if you try to screw it off, it takes the whole cap off. So you have to pop it off. Anyway, I've worked with these before and they've been pretty successful. It's kind of nice because you can layer on top of them so easily, but it's not really the gouache experience. And then finally, most expensive is the Winsor Newton Designer's Gouache. And this is the gouache that I've worked with the most. And I really love it. It's broadly available, so yeah, I would recommend it. But I will link to the video that you really want to see for that one, like a extensive review. Okay, color studies and material experiments. So I had a couple of viewers email me their color experiments, and oh my goodness, look at the luscious reds that Jackie Wolven was able to get with her apple. And this is Holbein gouache, which I've never tried before, but she says she really loves it. And I just want to take a bite out of that apple. And here we have Andrea's beautiful layering technique with oil pastel on top of gouache, which is very inspiring and made me really want to try it. So I went ahead and tried it as well in my studio color notebook. This is me working with that inexpensive gouache to see what I think about it. And yeah, it's really thick. I'm not sure if I would necessarily recommend it, although, I mean, clearly the colors are super vibrant and lovely, and I do appreciate that it's less expensive than the other ones. So because of Andrea, I decided to try using Prismacolor on the dried gouache, and then I also tried Caran Neocolor II wax pastels, and in a couple of places I added water to the wax pastels because they are water soluble, to see if they would act how they would act with the gouache. And I think I did it right there. Yeah, so I started spreading it around, and that was really fun. Next up, I went on a field trip to the bell tower in the downtown area of my neighborhood because this is something I'm definitely going to be painting. So I sat on a bench and awkwardly sat with my Studio Color notebook binder, which was much too big, but it was fun to try to match the color of the bell. And I really enjoyed that, and also the brick on the side of the bell tower. And this was a very quick and awkward color study, but Caran gouaches did okay, you know, like worked out. This week I also took last week's 4 teacup paintings and did a refining second layer using the same brand of gouache. And I just wanted to see how it would go for each one. And first up is the Caran gouache. I didn't show the entire process for this one. I think I accidentally didn't record it, but I did show, this is me just blending out the dried background because I felt like it was too many like vertical stripes and I wanted to blend it. And all it took was just a dip of water and everything smoothed out really nicely. And so I find this to be a really pleasant set to use, Caran gouache. And it's definitely inexpensive and definitely portable, but it's definitely not very gouache-y, you know? It's somewhere between gouache and watercolor, but I really am glad that I have it anyway. I have plans for these 4 teacups, and you know, big hint, it has something to do with the holidays. I want to actually, the reason why I wanted to refine these is because I thought they wound up turning out so cute and charming, and I thought they would be a wonderful gift pairing with a box of tea. So I talk about art and gift pairings in another video as something that I love to do during the holidays. Okay, so now we're on gouache number 2. This is Liquitex, and well, this one was just very easy because it's like nothing to layer over this. You don't have to worry about re-wetting the paint. It's already dried, acrylic essentially. And so I found this to be a very simple task. Then I did the, what is it, Winsor Newton. And I'm also really comfortable with Winsor Newton just because it's the kind of gouache that I've used before. But let's face it, gouache is challenging no matter what, but I liked that I was able to actually even reshape this cup a little bit because the paint was opaque enough that I could get away with that. I gotta say, there is a reason why this particular brand is more expensive than the other ones. It's just a workhorse, and it's really good quality. And then finally, I did the Niji brand. I thought this went well. I really like the violet that is included in this set, but I'm wondering if it's light fast. All right, if you're a gouache user already, then this is probably potentially exciting for you. Because gouache paintings can be re-wet, then it always has to be framed behind glass, right? Well, what if I were to tell you that there's a possibility that you could seal your gouache paintings and keep them completely protected from beads of water? I wouldn't say like you could just like dump water on it, but I have had some success in the past with sealing my gouache paintings with Dorland's cold wax medium. And I have a separate video that really shows how to do this more in depth, but I thought I'd just really quickly show you how I'm doing it on this particular just, you know, gouache sketch of that bell tower. And here's the deal. I had not tried it on, I hadn't tried it on a painting that was recently dry, and I hadn't tried it on color that had been this thickly laid down before, so I wanted to experiment with it. So the first thing you do is you apply this layer of wax and then let it dry, and then later, after it's fully dried and fully gotten rid of all the mineral spirits that sort of hydrate it, then you buff it. So I'm not going to demonstrate that there because I have run out of time. Anyway, I wanted to try it also with the teacups because I painted the teacups on a linen textured paper that's meant for acrylic. And I also don't know if this will successfully work with Dorland's wax medium. So this is one of the experiments that I wanted to try so that I could say with confidence whether it works or not. So in this case, I'm applying the wax medium just with a gloved hand, which is what I actually usually do. I don't know why I did it with a cheesecloth in the last painting, but this, I was concerned about this because this is a textured paper rather than a smooth one, so I didn't know if the gouache would start coming off on my hand, and it did not, so that's good. I realized right in the middle of working on this that I usually put a piece of paper down underneath when I do this because to get to the edge, it usually gets onto the table, which it's not a big deal. It just winds up being messy and annoying. So yeah, I was really gently rubbing this in. There's the wax up, and let's put a piece of paper there. I was gently rubbing this in so that it could get into the linen divots. Do you know what I mean? So it could fully permeate everything, but not rub it off too much. But I just wanted to see, here's something on the edge. I tried to rub it off with my finger to see, can I get it to come off? And I couldn't get it to come off with my gloved hand, and I was being very impressed. But then I thought, okay, what if I took a piece of cheesecloth like this and really scrubbed it off and basically shook the entire world with my scrubbing, apparently. And yes, as you can see, it will come off. The thing is, this wax medium does have mineral spirits in it, so I want to show you the mounting of a gouache painting on wood panel, and I'm going to actually demonstrate how to do that in a future video, but I just wanted to show you what a final waxed painting looked like on panel. This is black and white. This is from when I was first discovering that you could do this, and this is when I was in a painting atelier with Kimberly Trowbridge in 2021. And I showed her, look what I can do. I did this. I sealed it with wax and I mounted it on wood. And she's like, wow, this is like a capital P painting. She was very excited. Yeah, there's my little nameplate like I mentioned in the last video. Yeah, I tried a water droplet test on it. Totally worked. Really cool. And yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing, hopefully, with these teacups. I'm going to seal them and then mount them onto these wood panels and then trim it to size. And then I have a question for you. Do you think I should paint the sides harmonious color with this cup, or what if I actually put gold leaf on the edges, on the sides of the wood panel, and then maybe even little spots like here, maybe there, just little tiny bits of gold leaf. You think, is that over the top? Is that gilding the lily, or is that super awesome and fun for the holidays? So let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, I know that you are totally curious about this water droplet test, so I'm going to show you. Watch this. What? Amazing. Might as well be a raincoat. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.